Good evening and thanks for joining us. As we head into the Labor Day long weekend, it may feel like the last gasp of summer before we begin to hunker down for fall and winter. And as much as we all want to forget about COVID-19, now is not the time. In several provinces, the daily number of new cases is already on the rise, and that's before schools are fully reopened and before the weather changes and we need to spend more time inside. So you may not want to hear it, but this is the message about big parties this weekend.
Anyone who's thinking they're having a big shindig this weekend, forget about it. Cancel it. Folks, just follow the protocols. I don't care if it's those doobies, joints, whatever you want to call them, or drinks or anything. Just don't share them. Simple. And wear a face covering.
Ahead of the weekend, Quebec, Ontario, Alberta, and BC remain the key provinces of concern. Today, there were 184 new cases reported in Quebec, 148 in Ontario, and in Alberta, 164 more people tested positive today and 121 in BC. There is some good news. The recent spike in cases has not led to a similar spike in hospitalizations. Since the peak of the first wave in spring, there's been a steady decline of people in the hospital and in ICU with COVID-19. A big reason for that is many of Canada's recent infections have been in younger people who have mild or no symptoms. That is great, but the risk is they can spread it to others who are more vulnerable. Listen to BC's public health officer.
We're at that limit. We're at that precipice, if you will, where we need to take the actions to ensure that we can move forward into the fall and keep our curve low.
Avoiding crowded bars is advice that's worth repeating. In Quebec City, a karaoke bar has become the epicentre of what public health officials call a superspreader event. As Mike Armstrong explains, it's also a cautionary tale ahead of the holiday weekend.
There's a sign on the door at Bar Le Kirouac in Quebec City that says simply closed until further order due to the coronavirus. But health officials this week are warning the problem was actually COVID-19 and karaoke.
It's very important to say right now, hey guys, it's dangerous.
Officials say a night of sharing microphones and singing at the Kirouac was a super spreader event. 58 cases have been traced directly to patrons from one night, August 23rd. But it didn't stop there. It was passed from patrons to at least 10 other people, including 3 children at 3 different schools. Add to that, dozens of people who came into contact with them who are now home as a precaution.
The cases are increasing every day, and this is not good news.
Quebec's health minister is warning the public that things that seem innocent can be dangerous, whether it's karaoke or a backyard barbecue. He says there was a case this week north of Montreal where a simple dinner party for 17 people turned into 14 positive tests.
For Labor Day weekend, I would just ask everybody to pay special attention the way you meet with your neighbors, you meet with your family.
Schools in Quebec started reopening last week. The province now says 47 have had coronavirus cases. But so far, there have only been a couple of schools where people actually contracted the virus. In most of them, it was caught somewhere else, taken into the school, and didn't spread past that one person. Mike Armstrong, Global News, Montreal.
Whether reporting news from the field or anchoring it from the studio,
this is the first trade war.
She's been a trusted Canadian storyteller for more than 20 years. Global National with Robin Gill. Weekends on Global.